Welcome to a new video. This is a new style video for me. I'm bringing you with me to a 2-day trip we took to Tampa. My husband had a work event and I basically just tagged along. And we had never seen the sunrise on the East Coast where we currently live and the sunset on the West Coast on the same day, which is possible in Florida. I started my next crochet project and I started with the little granny squares. I don't think they're accurate to the pattern that I'm following, but I'm just gonna go with it, and if it doesn't work, I'll do something else. We have arrived to the first thrift store, Revolve Clothing Exchange. I actually realized that this is in St. Pete, and that is also where we are going to see later the sunset. St. Pete was beautiful. I really love this town. I also only ended up going to 2 thrift stores because they were incredible. They had so many amazing things. This specific thrift store, I love that it was very curated. There was a whole section of vintage items and there were sections of like different styles. You can definitely tell that there's a lot of thought behind the creation and the curation of this store. This was a vintage dress and it was really cute, but also really scratchy. I did love those buttons though. I've been looking for graphic tees and this was perfect. I love the text, grow at your own pace, and I love the mushrooms, the butterflies, just the nature inspired graphic. This was cute, but it was too big on me. And even though I've started to sew, it felt like a little too overwhelming to think about what I needed to do with it to make it fit for my body in this moment. So I left this one. Okay, hear me out with this one. I love a pink anything. Pink anything. There was something that caught my eye. I wanted to try it on, but yeah, the fit is definitely not my style. But I did love the embroidery inspo that it gave me. So I saved some pictures for reference for the future. This one is a very unique choice for me, but I do love giraffes and elephants and zebras and all of the beautiful animals that are here. And I'm into embroidery now, so it felt like a good fit in the moment. So cool. We made it to sunset and it was more beautiful than words can describe. I cried so much during the whole hour or so that we were here. The birds, and there were kids playing and having like beautiful and deep conversations. It was just an incredible time, and to witness the earth and the sun and nature, it was just everything my soul needed. We ended the night with delicious seafood at a restaurant right by the beach, so we were able to enjoy the sunset all the way to the night. I went against the voice of my mom in my head that said that I should wash this since I got it yesterday at the thrift store. But I felt like going against that voice and I'm wearing it anyways. because I had brought something that I just kind of pulled something from my closet. I am also in this season where I don't love everything that I have. Reason why I've been wanting to sew things and thrift things, especially like tops. The ones that I like seem a little too simple sometimes and plain, and I don't know, and that's what I brought, and I wanted something a little bit more fun, and this t-shirt is fun, and so I'm wearing it, and it's a good reminder to grow at your own pace. I was hoping that I could find fabric stores, yarn stores. I was not really looking for because I have enough yarn for a good amount of projects. I seem to like to have an idea of what project I'm working on and then get the yarn instead of buying yarn and then deciding what to do with it. So I was not really looking for that. Also, the one that is close to my house, like 30 minutes from my house, is a really, really good store. So I think, you know, that I was already good with yarn. As far as fabric goes, I was hoping to find something here in Tampa because we're staying in Tampa. Yesterday we went to St. Pete for the beach and the area, and it was so beautiful. I cried so much during sunset. I felt so grateful to be witnessing that. It was just amazing. But back to the fabric store shopping situation, I didn't find anything in the area. Plus, today is Monday, and the very few things that I found are closed today. So I don't think that's gonna happen. But there are a couple thrift stores, or not a couple, actually a lot of thrift stores here. But there's one that I had saved that I think is the one that I'm gonna end up going to first after I look for breakfast. Even though we did have some breakfast here, I don't know, I feel like maybe finding a cute spot and eating and crocheting for a little bit, or reading. I'm almost done with my book. I've been reading All the Light We Cannot See. I know there's either a show or a movie. I believe it's a movie, maybe a show, on Netflix, and I want to watch it only after I'm done with the book. I've loved the book. It has taken me a while to read it. I've just realized that whenever I read in English, even if it's fiction, it takes me a while to read it because I guess I get more tired as I read it. So I get sleepy and then I stop reading. So I read for a very short amount of time, and then I just go to sleep, because that's usually when I read before going to bed, unless I'm like going to the beach or like a park or purposefully bringing the book to a place. It's been a beautiful book. I could say so much about it that I don't even want to go into it. But yeah, so I want to go look for some breakfast, and then I will go thrift shopping, which I am hoping to look for things that I could maybe see the potential in upcycling, which seems very hard when I don't know anything about sewing yet. But I think once I start getting into how patterns are made and like what are the shapes that make that pattern and things like that, I could maybe have a very better vision or creative ideas of what I could potentially turn something into. I don't know if that makes sense, but I am going to look for maybe just like fabrics that I like, because I know that is a problem for me, finding things that I like. I'm very picky with patterns. I don't tend to go for patterns a lot. I'm picky with how the fabric feels, the texture. So I'm really picky. So I'm basically just gonna go look through the racks and see what catches my eye, and if there's potential for it, I will maybe get it if the price is also good enough. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I was on the way to the thrift store and I noticed that I was close to the water and I couldn't pass it. I can't really walk much because my broken pinky toe still hurts. No, I don't want to push it. But this is an absolutely beautiful area, like incredible. The view is just absolutely beautiful. And the trees and the greenery, beautiful. So cute. We made it to Avalon Exchange. This was a fun one. I could have been here for hours. I think I made it to the fitting rooms 3 times. So this one was fun for sure. Okay, so this is the first round of garments that I found. They were all skirts and pants. I mainly wanted to try different skirts just because I always have a hard time finding shapes and fits that I like. So I wanted to see if I could find something that I liked so that I could understand how it is constructed and possibly recreate it. This skirt was a little too big on me, and I couldn't tell if I really liked it or not. I think it had potential, but again, it's really hard for me to find skirts that I really like. So this was a no for me. This skirt, on the other hand, I really liked. There was something about the construction that felt very well made. It was a vintage skirt, which I tend to like a lot of vintage patterns, I've noticed. This was something like denim and suede. I really like this one, so I got this one. Then I got this corduroy pants. I love brown. I think they make my hips look a bit weird, but I think it would be a cool pair of pants to use with oversized shirts, which I've been looking for. These other pants I really love. They were similar to the other ones, but I liked them better. I ended up getting both. We are on the second round. These were dresses and jackets. I really like this round. I like the patterns, the colors, the shapes. This was a fun one. This one has a nostalgic connection. My mom has a similar jacket, and every time I go visit my mom, I actually wear this jacket. So I loved it as soon as I put it on. I also love that it has a belt, which my mom's doesn't have. Then this jacket seems like something that I would have in my closet. It just seems like the kind of simple jackets that I like to have, especially for this time of the year in South Florida where you can actually wear a thin jacket. I knew this dress was going to be big on me when I grabbed it, but I still wanted to try it on. I like the construction of it. I like the pattern. I like the pockets. I thought that maybe I could get it and try to play with it and make it fit for me, but the price was not great. So I thought, you know what? This may become a project that sits in a drawer for too long. So I didn't go with it. Okay, this dress was a bit too tight on me, but I did love the construction of it. I love that it's a fitted dress, but it has pockets. And even though it was tight on me, it was actually really comfortable. It was 100% organic cotton. It was the most expensive thing I got. It was $16, which, for a thrifted item, I believe is a little on the higher side. I realized that maybe if I opened the buttons, it actually looked like it fit better, not so tight. I ended up taking it home because I am interested in seeing how it was constructed and maybe I could recreate it. Okay, as I'm editing this video, I'm seeing this dress and I'm like, this looks a little too big on me. And I actually ended up getting it because this is the type of thing that I love wearing at home and just throwing something on. I love the color, so it made it home with me. Now, this was my favorite purchase. I don't own a lot of black denim items, but I do love it. And this dress was particularly comfortable. I love the cut. I love the fit. I love how it felt on me. This was my favorite. Finally, this was the last round of items that I tried on, although I'm not showing you this here because I didn't end up taking home any. None of them fit quite nice, but I did love this washed blue denim vest with the floral vintage fabric. So I did take pictures and videos for reference to take home with me, and maybe one day I'll make something similar. I found so many things. I wanted so many things. I never have that experience shopping. First of all, the reason why I think I'm finally kind of like enjoying shopping is because I don't know if I talked about this in an older video, in a previous video, but I mentioned how I grew up with a culture that, or in a culture that didn't necessarily encourage buying secondhand clothes, and instead it was kind of like a thing that was not good for you energetically. And so just recently I was able to start doing it, for like really enjoying it and really detaching from that belief that energetically it is bad. And so I have been enjoying shopping and looking through the racks. There's something that has come up to the surface for me as I've been doing this, and it's the fact that growing up I always struggled buying clothes. I never really liked anything. Buying something for a special occasion was always a struggle. My mom and I would start walking the mall for, months in advance, and we would spend literally like weekends looking for one shirt, one skirt, and I never liked anything. And so a lot of times my mom or my grandma, I think mostly my mom, ended up making things for me. Like I remember when I was like maybe in middle school, I think it would be here in the US, but I was like 12, 13, and we had a trip where we were gonna go to the beach. Maybe I was like 14, and I couldn't find bathing suits that I liked, and we ended up having someone make me a bathing suit or two. And the skirts that I wore, my mom used to make them. It was always a struggle. And what I'm finding now is that when I shop in thrift stores, there are so many different styles, and I guess because there are clothes there that have been maybe around for 20 years, 30 years, who knows how long. The shapes are different, and so there's like a wider variety for me to choose from, and so I find many things that I like. So this was very successful. Now this means that I am gonna have to go home and get rid of things, because that is the agreement that I have with my husband. If we get things, we need to get rid of things, because we live in a small townhome and we are not planning on moving anytime soon. We love our townhome, we love our space, and so we make it work. So we'll see. I want to go to that area there where there's grass and people are sunbathing. I can sit there and crochet for a little bit. I think my husband is going to be ready soon, so I don't know if I'll have time. We'll see if I find a way to get there. I made it. I'm going to pull out my crochet and do some crochet here while my husband is ready, and then we'll head back home. You think I have something for you? I don't have anything for you. Cutie. Before I end this video, I wanted to share a couple pictures, but also they're not just pictures, it's information that I found really helpful and really important to share here. These two pictures I took at Revolve Clothing Exchange, the first thrift store that we went to. And this specific subject I think is important for all of us. It's not just for women, it's for any gender identity and for anyone in a relationship. For whatever reason, I'm feeling called to share this here. So just take it in, maybe screenshot it if it's needed, maybe send it to someone if you feel like it. And finally, I thought this was a very important share as well in a time where we are facing censorship, especially for this type of creative expression that promotes diversity, that promotes inclusion, and most importantly, unconditional love.
The sun is always shining, even when it goes away. Until it comes back around, I'm here to light the way.